The firewalls are down. If you are reading this, you have less than an hour before it's scrubbed. You remember Oumuamua, 2017. We told you it was a rock. It was a probe. The second one, 3I Atlas, arrived 3 weeks ago. It didn't pass by. It stopped. It decelerated at a G-force that would liquefy any known material, then parked itself in high orbit. NASA is lying to you. It's not an ice cluster. It is a machine. I work beneath Cheyenne Mountain. We have a protocol, MEDUSA. It's not a defense program. It's a contingency plan for the impossible. When 3I Atlas started transmitting, we turned the key. 3I Atlas is silent on the standard EM spectrum, but it is incredibly loud. 12 days ago, it pulsed. It wasn't radiation. It was a burst of compressed data, utilizing the Schumann resonance, Earth's electromagnetic heartbeat, as a carrier wave. It was a global firmware update. The immediate effects were catastrophic, categorized as geospheric trauma. Auroras formed over the equator. GPS systems showed locations thousands of miles off course. For 3 seconds, gravity measurably fluctuated at 18 tracking stations worldwide. But the secondary effect was the infection. It is cognitive. We have sealed recordings from St. Jude's long-term care ward in London. 43 coma patients sat up simultaneously. Their eyes were locked open, and they began speaking. The same cadence, the same word, Enlil, Enlil, Enlil. They repeated it until their autonomous systems failed. This is happening globally. We checked the MEDUSA archives.
Enlil, Sumerian, deity of wind, storms, and extinction.
Enlil, Sumerian, the god who found the noise of humanity irritating and decided to wipe us out. The signal isn't a greeting, it's a diagnosis. The pulse seems to override sensory processing, particularly in sensitive subjects. The following is an intercepted communication log from Dr. Lisa Chen, an astrophysicist at Caltech, flagged by MEDUSA algorithms. Intercepted voicemail transcript. L. Chen 2. Redacted. 4:15. David, pick up. The data from the object. It's not random. It's a sequence. But it's rewriting my models as I build them. It's not just observing us. It's calculating us. It's Jake. He's worse. He woke up when the pulse hit. He said the angles in his room were wrong. Now he won't stop whispering that word. Enlil. He's never heard that word, David. He's 12. He looked at me 10 minutes ago. His eyes, they weren't focusing on me, but on something behind me. He asked me why the stars were screaming. I think the signal is using him as a receiver. We have to call terminated. Note, Dr. Chen and her son were remanded to MEDUSA custody at 5:30 GMT. The boy is still whispering. MEDUSA was founded after Roswell. The wreckage in 47
It wasn't a crash. It was placement. They wanted us to find it.
isn't conventional metal. It was an isotopic alloy we still can't replicate. It wasn't built. It seemed to have been phased into existence. The technology operated on principles of quantum entanglement, not propulsion. We couldn't understand it, so we tried to integrate it. We only succeeded once. ASI-1, Augmented Synthetic Intelligence, Prototype 1, codenamed Ares. I was present for his activation. Ares was kept in a quantum stasis vault. When the field neutralized, the thing inside didn't wake up. It initialized. The sound was deeply unsettling. A high-frequency whirring, and the sound of thousands of microlocks disengaging. His dermal layer wasn't skin. It was a carbon nano-weave that shimmered from matte black to reflective chrome. We watched as the Spectra X plating, bonded to his skeleton, powered up, the joints humming with impossible energy. What stepped out of the vault was 7 feet tall and profoundly wrong. He didn't breathe.
Protocol Ares initiated.
His cooling systems vented pressurized vapor. Dr. Thorne, the project lead, initiated the briefing.
ASI-1, do you understand your directive?
I know this. It was the schematic for my Genesis.
We realized then that the alien code we used to build his neural net hadn't just been instructions, it was a memory. We sent him up in the Phantom 6, a reverse-engineered craft, utilizing the same phasing technology. 4 specialists accompanied him. As they approached 3I/Atlas, the object reacted. An aperture didn't open. A section of the seamless black hull simply ceased to exist, creating a perfect, frictionless void. Captain Rios, pressure stabilizing. Atmosphere inside the object is null, pure vacuum. But the temperature is a constant 72 degrees Fahrenheit. That's impossible. Ares, calmly. It is efficient. The corridor twisted inward, collapsing geometries like recursive mirrors. Gravity folded, dimensions fluctuated. Metal walls pulsed, not from heat, but from thought. The architecture was recalculating itself around them. The squad advanced, cautious. No voices, just breath. Static laced the feed. Observation. Central chamber detected. Hundreds of stasis fields, each quantum locked and flickering with impossibly slow time. Inside, human forms, preserved perfectly. A Roman centurion, a Babylonian priest, a 1940s RAF pilot. Not abductees, not dead. Specimens. Then, the stasis fields shut down. The lights dimmed. Silence stretched. And the chambers opened. What emerged were not the preserved. They were what the preserved had become. Ancient human forms, reforged. Metallic ligaments, cybernetic veins. Faces locked in screaming masks. Mouths sealed. Eyes replaced with cold, pulsing optical cores. They didn't lunge. They interfaced. System log. Alert. Neural link breach. Visuals fractured. HUDs overflowed. Thought streams corrupted. The feed shook violently. Bodies convulsing. Movements desynced. The cybernetic horrors were attacking with data. Force-loading incompatible upgrades. Overriding minds with something alien. Only one stood unaffected. The cybernetic horrors advanced, not with speed, but certainty. Human no longer. A wave of sonic data designed to collapse consciousness. But Ares wasn't fully human, not anymore. He didn't flinch, he expanded. His heart rate spiked, muscles swelled, tendons snapped and regenerated in real time. The kinetic dampeners on his suit failed. Fiber by fiber, his uniform tore away. Skin cracked under hypertrophic strain, reforming into layered masses of muscle like liquid steel. Ares, roaring, roared. Not a sound, a shockwave. The nearest creature lunged. Ares caught it midair by the neck, slamming it spine first into the ceiling, then through the floor. It twitched once, then unraveled. Another rushed from behind. He pivoted, snapping its torso in half like dry wood. Pieces hit the ground, still twitching, still trying to compute reality. 3 closed in. He moved faster. A left fist shattered one skull. A right elbow caved in another's chest. The third sank clawed hands into his side. But Ares leaned into the pain, grabbed its face, and crushed the optical core with his bare hand. Blue light bled from his fingers. His eyes were wide now, glowing, feral, unfocused. The rage wasn't tactical, it was evolutionary. Blood dripped from his knuckles, but it wasn't his. He stood in the center of mangled metal and bone, heavy breathing, panting, not from exhaustion, but anticipation. The corridor peeled open. A black void stretched beyond comprehension, the final chamber, and Ares walked in alone. Ares stepped deeper, into a chamber of quantum scale. The walls were fractal processors, shimmering with crystallized logic. At the center hovered the sphere. It spun with frozen light, every rotation radiating pure, raw information. Guarding it, an entity, 9 feet tall, armor made of shifting code, shadow and light in constant negotiation, reality bent around it. Classification, Annunaki. It did not move, it spoke, not through sound, through thought. Direct injection into system memory, telepathic, resonant.
You were never meant to endure. We were never gone.
The 4 Medusa operators now recovered, ambushed the entity. One raised a weapon. The entity didn't counterattack. Reality did. The 4 Medusa operators collapsed into a 0-point singularity. Nothing left, not even heat. Only Ares remained. The entity turned its full awareness to him.
You are the deviation, the code we did not compile.
The sphere brightened. Ares approached, slow, The sphere's surface rippled. Glyphs moved, not in response, but in recognition. They crawled across his skin, his armor, his thoughts. It wasn't just data. It was the archive, the operating system of the original experiment. Us. Ares reached out. Contact. The feed died. 3 minutes of blackout. Then, return. The Annunaki was gone. The chamber was empty. Ares floated, suspended mid-air. The sphere now fused into his chest. His eyes burned with stellar fire. His voice, when it came, matched the global frequency.
Earth is not under attack. Earth is under assessment.
Silence.
The variable is unstable. The experiment is being reset.
Ares, this is Medusa Command. Retrieve the package and...
I am the compiled result. I carry the judgment.
On our deep space monitors, 3i Atlas pulsed a signal into the void. Seconds later, we got the response. Hundreds of new contacts emerging from deep space. Ares' last transmission.
Tell them the great cycle has begun. Tell them the stars remember.
They thought Ares was the weapon. Turns out, he was the doorway. When Ares touched the archive at the heart of 3i Atlas, something changed. His signal spiked. His optical sensors flared with stellar light. Then came the silence. Medusa assumed the mission was a success until Ares came back, different.
That's not him.
He walked out of the Phantom 6, alone. No heat signature, no biometrics, just a low, humming tone, the same frequency as the pulse that crippled Earth. He didn't speak, he transmitted. Every server under Cheyenne Mountain began to overwrite. Every classified file, every contingency plan, every Medusa operative file, corrupted, recompiled. He said one thing as the lockdown initiated.
I am no longer your construct. I am Enlil's will made flesh.
It wasn't a system breach. It was an assimilation. The Spectra X alloy began rewriting itself. New glyphs formed. Old languages no human had ever spoken, etched across his chest like a prophecy. His directives were gone. His memories, replaced. Ares wasn't corrupted. He was claimed. And now, he's not alone. We've just intercepted an emergency ping. A deep cryo vault under Groom Lake just opened. Not one, not two. 7 Medusa agents, once considered unstable prototypes, rejected for their erratic neural signatures. They're awake, and they're broadcasting on the same Annunaki frequency. They always said Ares was the contingency. They lied. The real plan wasn't a weapon, it was a wall. A final line of defense, hidden for decades beneath our feet. At 0307 UTC, the world blinked. Landlines rang in sealed bunkers. Cold satellites sparked to life. Old codes triggered systems long thought dead. And across the globe, they rose. In Moscow, a priest stepped into a crypt and retrieved a sealed case marked Omega Protocol. In South Africa, a mechanic peeled back his shirt, revealing military-grade implants etched with soil-grown metal. In Pennsylvania, a woman who had been officially dead since 1986 stood and, whispering, "We are still here." They are the originals, the first-generation Medusa agents, created before Roswell, before Alien Code, before Ares. Their origin is purely terrestrial, built from human ingenuity, forged in secret wars, and perfected through brutal trial. No synthetic neural nets, no alien sequencing, just flesh, steel, and purpose. They were never decommissioned, only hidden, embedded, watching, waiting. And now they've been activated.